Welcome back to the channel where I give you my recommendations up front for new streaming content, and then I hope that you stick around to see if I can justify my recommendations. Today, I'm going to go ahead and actually review The Survivors on Netflix. Now, for target audience members, and by target, I'm thinking of people that like crime drama, mysteries, or whodunit types of shows. For those folks, I'm actually going to say that you should binge this entire series. Now, for you casual viewers, you are not a fan of mystery dramas, crime, any of that type of stuff in there. You're just wondering, is this actually worth my time? I'm going to tell you that you should go and actually watch one episode of this particular series. Now, stay tuned and see if I can justify those recommendations. The Survivors is a crime drama mystery that premiered in June of 2025 on Netflix. The miniseries has 6 episodes that are about 50 minutes each, and it stars Charlie Vickers as Kieran Elliott, Yirin Ha as Mia Chang, and Robin Malcolm as Verity Elliott. IMDb has the plot like this. 15 years ago, a storm devastated the coastal town of Evelyn Bay and took 3 young people: Kieran's older brother Finn, Mia's best friend Gabby, and Finn's friend Toby. Burdened by guilt, Kieran and Mia escaped. Now, for a crime drama mystery like this, that's kind of set in a small town and all that kind of jazz in this, what is this like? What are some comparisons for it? I would go ahead and actually say Broadchurch, a good one. The scare, the staircase was actually a good mystery type of thing, and then One of Us. Those are some of the content that's very similar to this particular miniseries. This is a miniseries that's based on the novel by Jane Harper. And with this series, you're getting small town secrets, past broken relationships, and mysteries that connect the past to the present. And you get the opportunity to see if you can solve it before the end hits. Now, I'm a sucker for whodunit types of things in there, and especially bonus points for like when 2 crimes are in question, like you have 2 or more crimes that kind of chainmail stuff, or they kind of connect each other to here and there and all that kind of good stuff. And honestly, as I've expanded my kind of global appreciation for content, I will say that the Aussies usually do a pretty good job of drama mysteries, because this was actually produced in Australia. So for me, all of that stuff taken into account, I am a target audience member for this. I like for you to go and actually know my stance on where I am, because when you take my recommendation, you got to consider, am I a target audience member or my casual, kind of weighed against that. So there you go, main character for this one. If you like how any of that sounds, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe. And now, let me dive into it. So, first episode for this one, the opening scene of The Survivors was really intense. It's brief, it's not long or anything like that, but it's kind of like the first flashback that you get that just kind of pulls you in right away. You're like, okay, I'm hooked. You got me for at least another 15 minutes because I just kind of want to get into that. And then the opening sequences right after that kind of lay out everything and kind of gives you like the interesting mystery about it or what have you. The character intros are pretty good and kind of laying out the history and motivations of the characters in the first episode, of kind of understanding, what they're about, what's their personalities like and things of that nature. I think they do a really good job of laying that out in the first episode. The deepening mystery in the town becomes intriguing when the characters kind of go back to the town, and you're kind of understanding like there's some deeper things going on there, and they kind of pull you in with kind of like the promise or the lure of what's going on in the town. You can kind of see things are just not quite right there. And then the ending of episode 1 leaves you with a couple of really good questions leading into the next episode. So they do kind of, if you like what you hear and feel in that first episode, they do a good job of kind of stringing you to want to watch that second episode. Now, in the second one, again, another flashback scene kind of starts off the episode, and they give you some connections that kind of give you some more details and things like that. And that's actually something that's like really prevalent in this particular series, is kind of giving you some flashback in the beginning episode to kind of give you some more breadcrumbs and things like that. Now, in the second episode, the investigation that's occurring in real time continues to reveal more secrets and people that have things to hide or whatever. Obviously, as a good mystery does, present you with more and more potential suspects and things like that. And episode 2 does that for you. There were some good leads and motivations thrown into this episode to kind of give you throw you off or put you on to a couple different people or whatever. And they did that in this one. And then again, episode 2, a good ending pushes forth another narrative that kind of makes you think like, okay, now I can go ahead and actually go this way with who's no longer with them and what happened with them and all that kind of stuff on there. They do a very good job of kind of setting you up with like, it could be this, could be this person, could be that situation, whatever, things like that. And they do a really good job with that. So in both episodes, you kind of get that aspect of it is set up very well to be a binge type of series. So first off, the episode count is 6, right? So in storytelling for me, it's always about pacing and things like that. And then you have to go ahead and actually have enough space to go and actually do character development and kind of tell us where we are as far as the setting and all that kind of good stuff. But you don't want to go ahead and actually have too much time and explaining too many things on there because it just becomes, varying. Like I don't want to have to go and actually write, take notes on what everything is got, but just set things up for me, give me good timing and things like that. I think the pacing on this was done very well. Every episode was designed to kind of give you more breadcrumbs of the 2 murders and things like that. Because remember, we're talking about one, or at least a disappearance that happened in way back when, and then the murder that definitely happened in today, and kind of really kind of figure out what actually happened and some red herrings and things like that. Like you're throwing all kinds of different things on there, and I think the pacing is done well to do that for you. I also like most for the flashbacks that actually happened in the beginning of episodes on there. I think they were slowly kind of peeling away some of the layers of what you may think that you believe that you may know or whatever, and giving you kind of like doubt or throwing things in a different place or what have you as you see the rest of the episode go on there. And I think that was a good framing to kind of get the episodes going. As everything becomes clear and we kind of understand more of the characters' actions of the past and present, you still never kind of get that everything, at least not in those first 2 episodes. And honestly, the binge factor is pretty good with this one on there, where they string it along just enough to make you want to go and actually watch it, and that's very good with a series like this. So the 6 episode thing with this one developing into the book and whatnot, I think is really good on this one. So I'm going to go and actually give storytelling a B+. To sum it up, really, I liked the cast. You could tell that they really tapped in kind of like the troubled, secretive facade that these adults carried in this small town. It was kind of like everything was kind of okay, but everything was kind of like holding together by a string, and something was there. They needed something to go and actually make a snap, and that things happened, and things started to go ahead and actually having it out. Really good shout out to Vickers as Kieran. I think his character was the one that you just kind of really were immersed with, and kind of just like, man, for the stuff that had happened and things of that nature, you just kind of wonder where was this guy's mindset all the time. And then obviously Robin Malcolm as Verity is a very strong character in this. I think she brings kind of resolve, maybe denial aspect of things to it. It's kind of hard to kind of know more in the first 2 episodes, but you can just kind of see just beneath the surface there that there's something else that she's holding back or holding on to or something like that. And so I like both of those characters on there, and they're very much bringing in their scenes, especially together. But the entire cast was actually very good. I could kind of feel the pain of everything that was going on in there that they were trying to convey or whatnot. And I think the acting was done really well here. So I'm going to give acting an A-. Overall, speaking as a target audience member, I love the aspect of feeding me the clues and suspects throughout the entire series, but also kind of giving me motives, which was done well in like dialogue, flashbacks, and things like that. It really kind of kept me engaged with the series, so kind of trying to be figuring out what exactly happened in the past, what happened in the present on there, trying to tie everything together, what have you. They did a really good job of kind of making this bingeable, consumable, and entertaining throughout it. Now, this isn't a perfect series or anything like that. I don't want you to kind of go away like, oh, he's saying like this is a great series. It's not a great series, but it's a good series. It's one that you could go and actually watch in a short amount of time, like on a lazy Saturday or over the weekend or something like that, consume it and be like, it's like a good book, where you're just like, I feel satisfied. I was entertained. I wanted something or whatever. That's what this series is. It isn't going to be legendary or anything like that, but it's one that you can feel like, I'm glad that I actually watched it because it actually has some quality in there all the way on through. And then for casuals are like the setting, got the Aussie, the Outback, and all that kind of good stuff out there. The acting is very good, like I said, so there's entertainment value there. And if they really dig the premise of this particular series, they'll go ahead and actually be along for the ride, just like a target audience member would. And I think you can go ahead and actually get out of this in the first episode. You don't have to watch the second one to really determine if this is your thing and not for a casual viewer. So you can watch that one episode. So again, for target audience members, go ahead and actually watch the entire thing. For casuals, give it a 1-episode watch. And that's what I have for it. The Survivors, now showing on Netflix. Check them out.
No one knows how she died. I'm going to find out. I won't let her be forgotten.
I appreciate you staying for the entire review. I do. Always loving it. If you liked anything that I went actually threw out there, click like, you can share it. If you really like what's going on here, you want to hear more reviews of mine, go ahead and actually subscribe to the channel, what have you. The algorithm seems to think that you might like the video down here to see if you could go ahead and actually watch another one of my reviews. But until the next time, I'll holler at you. Take care of yourself.
Now that's a happy ending. Or is it? Because everything's over now, and all that's left is you and the infinite void.